Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Before starting the video, special thanks to Grasshopper for $10 and Darren Phillips for £2. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 243 based on novel. So let's start. Virtual Universe, Luo Feng's training grounds. In the spacious sky above the mountains, Luo Feng stood on the Luo Fu Liu board with over 800,000 little blades surrounding him. A blur of blades covered the sky. He used his spirit energy to trigger the blades and through the universe laws, began to unleash his illusionary blade, sky-piercing blade, blade domain, heavenly pillar, space slicer, blade world. Even though these were ordinary blades, with no lore engravings on them, he could still use his moves. The main advantage of the spirit weapons were that they had fixed lore engravings on them. Through some combination work, the moves could be used to trigger them. Simply triggering the lore engravings allowed one to use them. But, without the spirit weapons, for Luo Feng to control the blur of blades, and triggering the laws by himself was too tedious. Using the same move without a spirit weapon, the amount of energy needed alone would be tens to hundreds of times different. Space Slicing Gold Blade. Countless blades danced in mid-air, triggered by the universe laws. They eventually formed one body together. A huge blade with golden energy flow was formed. Luo Feng's face was flushed red. He stared hard at the huge blade formed by countless little ones. If I use the Nanshan armament, I can easily unleash this move, and the power will be much stronger, Luo Feng thought. However, using hundreds of thousands of normal little blades, and triggering the laws for each one of them to eventually connect them with the laws themselves is very tedious. I can barely form this huge blade. One had to know that Luo Feng had already comprehended the 108 wonders of space, and his space law comprehension had already reached the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge. The moment he combined that with his 3,200 spirit energy amplitude, he could already unleash the Nanshan armament's 9th level, a match against Undying. With the Nanshan armament, he could use the 9th level. Without it, using countless normal blades, even the 8th level was tedious. Through training in the Nanshan 36 forms, he had naturally learned how to control ordinary blades with the laws. Triggering the laws to control them was a skill used in creating techniques. Spreading one's attacking technique into hundreds of thousands of little blades, and arranging each and every one of them. Finally reaching a level of satisfaction. After which, combining them with the laws themselves and engraving the required laws within. That way, one didn't need to work so hard when unleashing his move, he just simply needed to trigger them. Of course, Luo Feng hadn't reached the level of creating techniques. Training this Nanshan 36 forms had great benefits for him. It worked well with the Nanshan 7 forms first level. So it's that way. Beast God Presence, the wonder within is like that. Luo Feng occasionally had smiles and frowns as he sat on his balcony. When he first began fusing the laws, he discovered that the little beast god presence that he had grasped had benefits. This was almost like some car mechanics. Even though they didn't know the principles behind the engines, they could still fix them. And when they began to actually study it, it would resonate with their fixing experience. Their comprehension would thus speed up. Luo Feng was that way as well. He knew how to do it in the past, but he didn't understand it too well. Now that he began to study it, they worked together and he would be extremely excited whenever it happened. So it's that way. Haha. During the 6th year after he began the Nanshan 7 forms. Teacher? Luo Feng sat beside his teacher. How's the study of the Nanshan 7 forms? Do you have confidence in completing the first level within 3,000 years? Tru Yang looked at Luo Feng. He knew about his deal with the city leader. I'm doing well for now. Luo Feng smiled. My first 6 years into it have been smooth, however this beast god path is extremely profound. Just the first scale portion alone is incredibly complex. According to 11 Luo Duo, it has many barriers within. I don't know whether I'll be able to easily break through them. Tru Yang nodded. This was a true high-level manual. The moment one finished the 6 levels, he would stand at the pinnacle of humanity. Just like the huge Axe Dojo founder, Primal Chaos City leader, Void Gold Master and other few rare existences, he may still be weaker than them, but it was still enough to dominate over trillions of races in the universe. Hence, every level was incredibly difficult. Smooth sailing at the start, that's good, it means you fit this path well. Tru Yang nodded satisfied. There was no way for him to know that the golden horned beast had been imitating the sleeping statue for a long time. studying the little beast god statue and its special presence, which was also infused with the fusion laws, and practicing it with its sky-tearing claw over and over. Amongst Luo Feng's three bodies, the earth body and the Mosha body's training in the beast god path was far from the speed of the golden horned beast. The golden horned beast, the sleeping beast god statue, the little beast god statue, along with the Nanshan 7 forms and Nanshan 36 techniques, these were the ideal combination. A few more days and it'll be the Domain Lord Millennial Qualification Battles. Tru Yang laughed. You must remember to take part. I remember. Luo Feng laughed. Domain Lord Qualification Battles? The strongest of the 10 seniors had only just passed the 11th level, even if he didn't use the Beast God presence, just using his space laws and 3,200 spirit energy amplitude, he could already easily pass the 13th level. Fighting them is simply bullying them, they are no challenge at all. Luo Feng muttered to himself. Even though it was obviously bullying, the date of the qualification battles still came. Virtual Universe Yuxiong Mountain, Primal Region. The Primal Region Domain Lord battles are about to begin, all gather. A thick voice resounded within the entire Primal Region. All 11 members looked up in the sky, gazing at the silhouette in the air, after which they all rushed up into the skies. 11 of them gathered in mid-air, looking at the purple-clothed man. He was the organizer of the battles sent by the Virtual Universe Company, and also a powerful Undying. Luo Feng? That's Luo Feng? Tuo Ka, that's Luo Feng, his training speed is absurd. The 10 seniors all seemed to gaze at him. Of the 10, only Tuo Ka was currently in Primal Chaos City, the other 9 were elsewhere, and as Luo Feng hardly attended classes in the virtual universe. He mostly attended them personally in Primal Chaos City, hence the other 9 weren't familiar with him. Interesting. Luo Feng could feel their gaze on him. He smiled. Forget it, it's no fun if I bully them too much. I'll show them some respect when we fight later. I'll settle them quickly but not too badly. It was indeed bullying. Passing the 13th level compared to the 11th, the difference was too huge. It was purely elimination. Before Luo Feng had consecutively passed the 6 levels, the 10 seniors all thought Luo Feng had some capability, but at least they were still stronger than him, some couldn't wait to fight him. However, now that he had passed the 13th level, the group of seniors were all stunned. Dumbfounded. Tuo Ka, who was in Primal Chaos City, howled within, I've trained for 30,000 years, but he's only trained for a few hundred years. How is he so much stronger than me? This is too unfair. Is this another Kudi? To be in the same generation as a monster, what a tragedy. The 10 of them couldn't even face him. Some looked on at him like he was an absolute genius monster. They were very clear about the fact that Luo Feng wasn't on the same level as them at all. The purple-clothed man looked at the 11 before him, his gaze landing on Luo Feng. He couldn't help but carefully analyze Luo Feng. He had heard Luo Feng had become the Primal Chaos City leader's disciple in name. He was filled with envy. His level of Undying didn't even have the chance to meet the city leader, he was totally envious. Same rules as before. His gaze swept past the 11, expression serious. Once every millennium, the Domain Lord qualification battles occur. There are a total of 11 of you this time, everyone will fight against the other 10. In these matches, the victor will get 1 point, the loser will get 0, the final score will rank you all. The top 6 will continue to stay in the Primal region, the remaining 5 will compete against the top 5 of the Absolute Beginning region Domain Lords, fighting for the final 4 slots. I'm sure you all understand. Understood. The 11 of them nodded. Luo Feng was very relaxed. The 10 of them, however, all felt the pressure. No matter what, Luo Feng had already taken 1 slot. The top 5 of the Absolute Beginning region, the geniuses of over 100 in that region, wouldn't be too far behind. The moment they had to compete against them, it would extremely intense. The battles will all be held in special areas. The virtual universe system will automatically send you in pairs to them, everyone will fight with everyone else, unless your opponent forfeits. Those not in battles can watch the live broadcasts of other battles. He smiled, prepare yourselves, and await for the teleportation. 11 members nodded, their gazes changing to that of competition. Competition. From the day they stepped into the Virtual Universe Company, this had always been the case. Luo Feng stood calmly in mid-air, as he didn't care about the 10 seniors. He wasn't competing against them, not even the geniuses of his generation. But the great beings of humanity in history, or the absolute geniuses of the other races in the universe. 10 of the 11 were immediately teleported, leaving only Luo Feng behind. The 5 matches that just begun, I'm the only one not taking part. Luo Feng shook his head and laughed. Don't be anxious, everyone will fight eventually. The purple-cloaked man smiled at Luo Feng. And this is simply just a passing to you, there's no challenge at all. Luo Feng laughed. The Domain Lord level qualification battles just passed like that. The absolute pinnacle beings of humanity along with the other geniuses weren't even surprised at Luo Feng getting first place. They were all very clear that with his training speed, he was bound to become one of the absolute beings of the universe. Now everybody was just waiting to see if he was capable of completing the first form of the Nanshan 7 forms in 3,000 years, and whether he'd become a true disciple of the city leader. Within Primal Chaos City. Your Majesty Luo Feng. 3 silver-armored sector lords walked up to where Luo Feng stayed. They looked up at his balcony where he sat cross-legged. On the balcony, Luo Feng opened his eyes to look down, a smile appearing on his face. He jumped down immediately. Is it what I ordered? Luo Feng looked at the 3 sector lords before him. Yes. The leader of the 3 silver-armored sector lords nodded. He respectfully passed over a world ring. The items and things your majesty ordered are all within this world ring. Luo Feng received it and used his spirit energy to scan the world ring. The world within this ring was small, with a diameter of only 10,000 kilometers. However, it was completely filled with large amounts of things. The goods took up over 1,000 kilometers in space, of which the most obvious were the 3 silver boxes within. Very good. Luo Feng smiled and nodded, thanks for the trouble. No problem, no problem. The 3 sector lords were somewhat taken aback, saying, we shall not disturb you further, we'll be leaving. The 3 swiftly left. Following the spacious walkways, they walked along, discussing, he's said to be a rare absolute genius of 10 million eras. But I didn't expect him to be so humble and easy to get along with. When we went to deliver goods to the Primal Region Sector Lord before, HMPH, he was acting all big and arrogant. This is called bearing. I heard His Majesty Luo Feng has been accepted as a disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. I heard he's only a disciple in name. Rubbish, he is a true disciple. There may be some miscommunication. The 3 of them discussed mentally. Even though they were all sector lords, as they were simply staff of the Virtual Universe Company Corps, they often heard secrets from their interactions. Most of what they heard had been passed down from many sources, hence they would at most get them 50% right. Luo Feng held the world ring and immediately walked into his own training quarters living room. Sitting in the sofa, he rubbed the world ring and it swiftly refined. Come out. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with anticipation, immediately taking out the 3 silver boxes from within the world. The 3 silver boxes laid out on the dining table. Every box was about 1 m long, half a meter wide, and 30 centimeters tall. Luo Feng took a deep breath and swiftly opened all 3 of them. Click! 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 There was a white plant within each box. They were carefully placed within, 60 centimeters tall, their stolan silver white. Star-eating plant. Luo Feng smiled as he looked at the 3 plants. They've finally come. Since 6 years ago, when he first began his training in the Nanshan 7 form's first form, he had studied on his rough power level after completing the first form. Hence, he got a clearer idea on what would happen in the future. His training in Primal Chaos City was set to be a very long time, hence he had to use the time here wisely. How? He had a large amount of Luoku holy water that was a top-level treasure for nurturing plant life, hence he had decided to do so. One had to know that there were many warriors training within Primal Chaos City. They would often purchase a few treasures, and the Virtual Universe Company's ship would often frequent the place. Naturally they could order things. Luo Feng had ordered 3 infant star-eating plants. Star-eating plant, a very special plant life form that was born in the universe. It could be produced on a normal mineral planet. But as it grew, it would swallow the planet's metals, minerals and rocks etc. Normal minerals on the planet were usually enough to let it evolve to universe level, and the mineral planet later collapse and the plant would begin to wander the galaxy with the large amounts of asteroids. While wandering the universe, it may swallow other special metals and stones, plant life forms etc., evolving further. The plant life forms could be divided into many types. Like those for defense, or attack, or both, along with others. As there were many types of plants, their abilities were also countless, even to the point where some plants could produce other living things, while others acted like trees and stayed rooted to the spot. Transplanting them had to be done carefully, not all of them could be moved about like the cloud contact vine. In all, there were many types with countless abilities. The most suited was best. Star-eating plant, it was named the most sturdy attacking type plant. What most sturdy refers to is only within the plant's humanity cells. There are other special and mysterious types of plants in the vast universe that cannot be bought. The star-eating plant enjoys swallowing rocks, metal, trees, etc. It will make it even sturdier. Its attack method is very simple. Just one move, entangle and kill. The cloud contact vine and star-eating plant were very different. The cloud contact vine was mainly for defense, and its attacking ability was but average. The star-eating plant, however, is even more expensive than the cloud contact vine. One without position or an avenue wouldn't even be able to buy an infant star-eating plant. This was because it was the most sturdy attacking type plant, hence it was an extremely good assisting life form during a battle. Its countless vines could wrap about an opponent. As long as it affected the enemy's speed and attack, the battle outcome could be changed. The only ability of entangling and killing had given it the title of most sturdy attacking plant life form, leading to it being in high demand. 3 infant star-eating plants, they cost Luophone close to 900,000 mixed elements. Of course the infant stage was all the same, the nurturing later on would make them different. Just like the cloud contact vine, the sector lord weakest had 36 vines, and the strongest with 360 vines. Back then the Yunmo planet master Hu Yangbo's cloud contact vine at sector lord level only had 108 vines, yet it still took a whole lot of work for it to break through to Undying. Luophone sector lord cloud contact vine had 216 vines, it was more than 10 times harder for his to break through to Undying. The star-eating plant was more expensive than the cloud contact vine, of which at sector lord level, the weakest would have 10 vines, the strongest would have 1,000 vines. Star-eating plant. Luophone looked at the 3 infant plants, smiling. The 3 star-eating plants, plus the huge amount of material to nurture the plants, had filled up the entire world ring. All of them added together had come up to close to 2 million mixed elements. Without enough wealth, how could one even begin to dwell on it? The cloud contact vine's defense and the star-eating plant's attack. Luophone thought, the star-eating plant's sturdiness is well reputed, at infant stage it can already swallow a planet. Luophone, don't get happy too early. Barbata's voice resounded within his mind. Your teacher's cloud contact vine only had 108 vines, yet it still required 6.2 million mixed elements and luck for it to finally break through. And it only gave the cloud contact vine an early official Undying level of strength. Your cloud contact vine has a total of 216 vines, it'll be 10 times harder than your teacher's. If it's the strongest 360 vines, it'll probably be 10 times harder than the golden horned beast breaking through to Undying. And similarly, the moment it broke through to Undying, the 360 vines cloud contact vine would have Emperor level strength. The star-eating plant is even more expensive than the cloud contact vine. Nurturing the weakest 10 vine plant to become Undying would definitely be easy. However, the 500 vines plant would be akin to the strongest cloud contact vine. And the legendary 1000 vine star-eating plant, breaking through to Undying, would probably be even harder than a Bug Clan Queen breaking through to Undying. The difference would be minimal. Of course the moment it succeeds, an Undying 1000 vine star-eating plant would definitely have an Emperor pinnacle level of strength. After hearing Barbata's words, Luophone couldn't help but laugh. Of course he knew this, the universe had trillions of life forms that were incredibly mysterious. However, there was never a free meal. The universe was fair, just like the space beasts, the Bug Clan Queen, breaking through to Undying was incredibly difficult. And the plant life forms were the same, the more powerful they were, the more absurd the difficulty of their breakthrough. If one nurtured a lower level plant life form, it would be easy to break through to Undying. If one nurtured a stronger plant life form, it could never break through to Undying. The choice was all on the person. Hence I ordered 3 of them. Luophone laughed. 3 star-eating plants, I will make one with 100 vines, another with 300, and last one will be the best one with 1000 vines. He had spent close to 2 million mixed elements. 3 of the infant plants close to 900,000, and over 1.1 million mixed elements in the resources that were required to nurture them. The main thing was that nurturing the 1000 vine star-eating plant took up over 90% of the resources. Luckily I have the Luoku holy water, otherwise producing a sector lord level 1000 vine star-eating plant would be enough to make an official level Undying go bankrupt. Luo Feng thought. I'm lucky, I only spent 2 million. When I reach Sector Lord level, the Virtual Universe Company will give me an extra 50 million mixed elements. Nurturing the star-eating plants was very easy. They first had to recognize their master, then the process was simple after. Most of the time the 3 plants would be left in the pond of Luoka holy water, with Barbata watching over them and observing their evolution process, giving them the required resources when they needed to evolve. Right now all 3 are in the infant stage. However, I'll be here in Primal Chaos City for a very long time. When I complete the first form, the of Nanshan 7 forms, the 3 would probably have already reached Sector Lord Pinnacle. Luo Feng smiled. He didn't think any more about it, immersing himself in his training of the Nanshan 7 forms. Time passed. He spent long periods of time sitting cross-legged on his balcony, like the other warriors about. 1 year, 10 years, 100 years, time passed continuously. Luo Feng kept improving. In the blink of an eye, it had already been 800 years since Luo Feng was accepted as a disciple in name to the Primal Chaos City leader. There were another 2 Domain Lord level qualification battles. Actual universe every millennium equates to 300 years in Primal Chaos City. Without a doubt, Luo Feng still got number 1 each time, everything else had been normal. Altogether, Luo Feng had been here for over 900 years, actual universe over 3,000 years. During this time, Bolan had become a Primal Region Domain Lord and Rongjian had become an Absolute Beginning Domain Lord. Virtual universe within an island in a special space, with palaces joining together, it was extremely beautiful, an absolute beautiful location. Master. The Master is back. Many beams of lights immediately flew through the island. Many absolutely beautiful ladies and others rushed into the virtual universe the moment they got news from their friends, and silhouettes filled the island. Greetings, Master. Over 100 million staff and ladies all knelt respectfully. Mad laughter resounded throughout the island. A demonically beautiful man stood before them. He was Yangu Emperor. You. Yangshu's eyes burned with madness. He walked amongst the 100 million kneeling before him, and casually picked a few of them. Come with me, he ordered. Yes. The over 1,000 men and women he had picked followed him, but their eyes were somewhat nervous. Ever since 3,000 years ago, their master Yangu Emperor wouldn't even come into the virtual universe, coming in only once every century, and at most staying within for only a month. Every time he came, he would find all sorts of methods to vent. None of the staff dared to resist. There were cries of pain and shock, howling, and all sorts of noises from the palace. After a while, he rubbed off the blood stains from his lips, and put on a long robe over his naked body as he walked barefoot. His body flashed as he quickly reached another hall and sat in the throne above. Lord. 2 men and a lady bowed respectfully within. These 3 were all undying. Yangu let out a comfortable sigh of relief. Being cooped up in the 9th Starfield jail hell was too terrifying. He was set to be locked up for 1,000 eras. Normally, there was no way to connect to the virtual universe network from inside. That entire area was banned by the system from connecting. However, he was Yangu Emperor and his father was Shohua Knight. Shohua Knight had gotten a chance for his son. He would be able to enter the virtual universe network every century for a month. He knew his son's mental state too. If he were to be locked up in there for 1,000 eras without any connection, he would probably go crazy or lose his mind. However, being able to enter the virtual universe every century to vent it out would help alleviate matters. I only get a chance every century, those other punks all have to battle it out to find ways to occasionally get a chance to connect, and they only get a short day. Yangu thought, however, I get a fixed chance every 100 years and for a month. If they knew, they'd be truly jealous. It was only thrilling with comparison. 9th Starfield jail hell, that was indeed a nightmare. Those who were all locked within were all that had committed grave sins, and all of them were extremely powerful. You 3, report to me the news of the past century. Yangu sat in his throne, lifting his wine and sipping it. Yes, Lord. The huge Axe Dojo has arranged for another manager at Wulong Starfield, Qi Li Emperor, to substitute you. He just took on the position. The black-robed Undying said respectfully. Scum. Yangu's expression grew heavy. Shohua Knight's underling Bao Jin Emperor has led a group of Undyings heading to. The Undying continued with the reports. As all these were well prepared beforehand, Yangu could easily and swiftly read through them himself. However, he enjoyed bossing them around from high above and listening to them report to him. He enjoyed this feeling. One report after another. After a while. With regards to True Yang's disciple. True Yang has been in primal chaos city these past 100 years, without any movement. His disciple Bloodthirst Emperor has been hard to locate. As for his smallest disciple Luo Feng, he's still training in primal chaos city, is on his balcony almost every day. The Lady of the Three Undying said below. Ha ha. Training on the balcony like an idiot? He really thinks he can finish the first form of the Nanshan 7 forms within 3,000 years? He must be dreaming. Yang Shu mocked. When he had heard that Luo Feng had become a disciple in name to the city leader, he was extremely furious. He felt unfairness within. He was punished because of Luo Feng to suffer in the jail hell for 1,000 eras, yet this Luo Feng actually became a disciple in name to the primal chaos city leader. These were completely two different levels of fate. How could he feel at ease with this? After which, every time he entered the virtual universe every 100 years. Almost every report he got of Luo Feng was of him training on his balcony. Keep dreaming. 3 months after Yang Zhu got his report from his underlings, within virtual universe's Thunder Island. Thunder Island, it was the gathering point of the Undyings of the Virtual Universe Company. Within its highest quarters, there was a majestic palace engulfed in primal chaos energy flow. This was the living quarters of the primal chaos city leader. The palace was filled with primal chaos energies, one couldn't visibly see past 100 m. Teacher? Huge Axe Knight bowed respectfully. He still carried his huge axe on his back, and he also had 6 arms and eyes. What's the matter? A voice resounded from the depths of the primal energies. Huge Axe Knight had left primal chaos city long ago. Hence he had been teaching Luo Feng from the virtual universe all this while. Naturally, he reported to the city leader in the virtual universe as well. You let me give guidance to Luo Feng. In regards to him, I have some matters to report. Huge Axe Knight said respectfully. Speak. The voice resounded. I've been teaching him every 10 years, yet I discovered, this Luo Feng is quite strange. He said. Strange? Explain. Huge Axe Knight spoke at the endless primal chaos energies, respectfully, yes. When I was teaching him, I discovered his improvement speed is simply terrifying. Although many problems would slightly obstruct him, he'd swiftly break through them every time. There was nothing that actually held him past 3 months, and currently, he's already close to completing the first level of the Nanshan 7 forms. Close to completion? A blur silhouette walked out from the primal chaos energies. Yes. Huge Axe Knight said respectfully. The city leader stood before Huge Axe Knight. This was a strong-looking gold-armored powerful-looking man, completely different from the one back in Primal Chaos City. He looked at Huge Axe Knight. How long do you think he will take to complete it? If he's fast, in half a year, if he's slow, maybe 3 years. He replied. Looks like I did underestimate him when I gave him 3,000 years. The city leader smiled. With that smile, it felt like the entire space about had livened up. Looks like you'll be getting one more junior. Huge Axe Knight smiled too. Luo Feng's talent in the Beast God path is indeed shocking. Even though that Nanshan 7 forms is a top-class training manual, there are no tablets to refer to or anything, it can at most be studied. And for junior Luo Feng to break through so easily, it's very impressive indeed. His future is boundless. The city leader smiled and nodded. 800 years? 3,000 years? His eyes gleamed satisfied. Even though Luo Feng's gold and space law improvement speed was heavenly, to the primal chaos city leader, it was but average. And in the Beast God path, however, it had made him very satisfied. 3 months after Huge Axe Knight's conversation with the city leader, on a balcony in primal chaos city, Luo Feng sat cross-legged. Suddenly illusionary scales appeared on the surface of his body. In an instant, there was a faint cloak of a single horned lizard all over his body. This was the Beast God illusion. Rumble. He suddenly opened his eyes and 2 beams shot out. It was a terrifying power. The Nanshan 7 forms, also called the Beast God 7 techniques, it was a way of training to materialize the Beast God itself. When one had finished the 7th level, he would be able to transform into a Beast God. This 7th level was purely imagination, it had yet to be completed. And Luo Feng already had a sense of its energy now. Powerful. Intrepid. The first level scales, completed. Luo Feng opened his eyes and gazed at his body below. During these 800 years, he had occasionally been studying the veins of the scales too, hence he was surrounded by many scattered veins as well. The city leader gave me 3,000 years to complete it. But I've already completed it in 800 years. Luo Feng was gleeful. It's all thanks to the beast god presence, the beast god statue. Luo Feng was happy. While he was training, he discovered that the beast god presence he had grasped from his trillions of times imitating the statue had helped him a lot. Training the Nanshan 7 forms was ultimately for usage, and since he could already do it, it resonated well and made the first scale portion much easier. What's more, he could personally see the scales from the statue itself, almost like seeing a living beast god. Hence his improvement was so much faster. After tasting the benefits of the beast god presence, he naturally imitated the sleeping beast god statue intensely. His comprehension of the fusion laws grew even more as he began to understand it. Naturally, his grasp on the presence became easier. From not knowing anything, he copied the statue trillions of times to get a grasp of it. However, after understanding the fusion laws, it only took tens of millions of times of imitation to reach the same result. The beast god presence and the fusion laws were interlinked. The more one understood the fusion laws, the higher the efficiency of control of the beast god presence. The more one had a grasp of the beast god presence, the more he would be able to understand the fusion laws. Luo Feng had always maintained the beast god presence being above the fusion laws, both spurring each other, reaching optimum results. Just like that, it only took him 800 years to complete the first level. Of course. Within these 800 years, his benefits have been plenty too. His internal world had grown to its limit, with a diameter of 90 million kilometers. Golden Horned Beast and Mosha bodies too had reached Sector Lord level 9. It's time to go visit the city leader, he thought. He jumped down from the balcony and landed in the walkways. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.